Well, good morning, Science 10s. I know you are on your long weekend, but I noticed a lot of you are struggling with the concept of solubility and how to use the solubility table. So I thought I would just make a quick video here for you guys to help you out for you to write your summative this week. So if you're asked for the solubility of NaOH, that means what state will we write? Is it very soluble? Is it something that is aqueous? It is soluble, it dissolves in water, or is it a solid? It's only slightly soluble, it does not dissolve in water. What exactly do we mean by that? Well, whether it's soluble or insoluble, let's watch just a quick video here to explain what it means soluble and insoluble. Does it dissolve or does it not dissolve?
Let us conduct an experiment to check the solubility of some substances. Take 3 glasses of water, a spoon, and some salt, sugar, and sand. Add a spoon of salt to the first glass and stir it. You will notice that the salt completely dissolves in water. Similarly, add a spoon of sugar to the second glass. You will observe that the sugar also dissolves in water.
So those two substances are soluble. They dissolved in water. We started with a solid and then they disappeared, right? The water broke them down, they dissolved. They were soluble. So we would say they are aqueous. What about something that's insoluble? Now, here's the example he's going to use. He's going to talk about sand. We could use a different example like barium hydroxide or a different chemical compound, but the thing that means insoluble means the same. It means it does not dissolve in water.
Finally, add the sand sample to the glass of water. The sand will not dissolve in water and just settles at the bottom of the glass.
Okay, so it didn't disappear like the sodium and chloride, the salt solution, or like the sugar, right? It stayed a solid chunk at the bottom. It's not soluble. It does not dissolve. So that's what we're trying to show here. When we are asked to find the solubility, that's what we're doing. Is it soluble or is it not soluble? So when we're looking at a compound, here's the compound. NaOH is our example here. What state are we going to write? Well, we ask ourselves first, what ions are there? Well, there's sodium, which is a group 1 ion. He's the very far left of your periodic table, and hydroxide ions. Okay, so this is an ionic compound. This is a base, actually, right? We've got a metal and a hydroxide ion. So let's look on this solubility table. This is page 3 of your data booklet. Here's the hydroxide ion. So we're looking always for the anion, the negatively charged ion across the top here, right? And so we look, these are our negative ions. We first find at the very top row here and find our ion. So there's hydroxide ion. Now what do we do? Okay, well, next step is to find the sodium ion. Well, remember, he is in group 1. So here he is right here. He's listed with the other group 1 ions. So we're almost there. Our next step is to look to the far left of this table, and then it tells us what state we're going to use. So we look over here to the far left, and it says, oh, it's very soluble. It does dissolve in water, just like the salt and the sugar in that little video. So it means it can dissolve. So we write aqueous as the state. So here's our final answer. NaOH, like the salt, like the sugar, is aqueous. It's soluble in water. It's going to disappear. You dump the solid in, it goes away, and all you see is the water. Okay, but now maybe instead we get a question and we're asking about what is the solubility? Does it dissolve in water? Barium hydroxide. So what do we write for his state? Are we going to write aqueous or are we going to write solid? So same thing is we look at what ions are there. So we've got the barium 2+ ions. We know he's a group 2 ion, second column on the far left side of your periodic table. And then there's a hydroxide ion. So we're back to where we started last time again. We find this hydroxide anion. Remember, we're looking, the very first step you look at is you find the ion, right? And all the ions are listed across the top column or top row here. So here is our hydroxide. Now we're going to look down below and find barium. Okay, so let's take a peek. Well, where's barium? Is he a group 1 ion? No, he's not group 1. He's group 2. Okay, well, that doesn't help me. Is he ammonium? No, ammonium and barium are not the same. So where must he be? He's not in that top column, so he's got to be at the bottom with most other guys, right? It says most cations are going to be found here. So aluminum and any other group 2 ions, all the guys in the middle like iron and those multivalent guys. Okay, great. So he must be in this most category. Now what do we do? Well, same thing as we did before. We look to the far left and then that'll tell us what state do we write. What state? Well, this time is a solid. So just like the sand that did not dissolve, it is not soluble. It is not going to dissolve in the water. And so we write BaOH2 solid. Doesn't dissolve in water, it's not soluble. Okay, so that is how you use your solubility table. All right, so have this table handy from your data booklet and get some practice doing that. Remember, if you have any questions, you're welcome to email me. And hopefully you guys have a great long weekend. Take care and we'll talk later.